we'll mix it out right next to it. As you can see, we just mix in the different cheeses on the top and bottom. And this is what we have to do just for the pizza. The pizza's almost ready to go. It goes in, it's gonna be really fast. So the oven is about on orange, so it's about 600 degrees. That's about New York temperature for pizza. And we're gonna see the cheese start melting, which is like the funnest part, watching it like start to melt. Ooh, pizza's the best. So as you see, it's starting to form on that side. So all we're going to do is put this in here, and now all I'm going to do is pull it onto this thing. So as you see, the first side is pretty much done. And now all I'm going to do is turn the pizza to the other side. And put on the pizza this side. But look how it's forming now on the other side. See how the bubbles formed on the other side? Okay, so charcoal is ready to go. It's perfect. This is our pizza. You see it liquidy. And now we're gonna put it down. Now we're gonna add some more Romano and Parmesan. Just because there's the best tasting cheeses. So we're gonna take out some basil leaves here. Now we just evenly distribute the basil on the pizza. I like a lot of basil, but I don't know how much people like, so I'll put like a decent amount. And now we have a pizza. Bon appetit.
We gotta try a piece now.
This is for you guys. You guys eat.
Might be the first athlete that's ever cooked anything for me.
Okay.
He's got the New York fold.
The New York fold, the flop. Approved?
I feel like I'm gonna look like a slob eating it right there. Very good.
It's good.
Yeah. No, it's delicious.
The cheeses give a good flavor,
You
right?
get in a restaurant. The dough tastes really good.
It's a good dough, right?
Like I don't have any cheese left, and I'm eating it, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's really good. I think you might be better at cooking pizza than you are at jiu-jitsu. One of the
Oh
best
my
pizzas
God.
I've had my entire life.
That's
Nathan,
amazing.
what score would you give it?
Out of 10?
I don't want to say 10 out of 10 because it seems like I'm kissing his ass.
I mean, I was gonna say 11 out of 10, honestly.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, this is amazing. This is really good
That's
pizza.
awesome.
Honestly, that's like pizza. That's the style of pizza you get when you go to like an expensive restaurant. So let's go with 9.4.
One day I want to have a jiu-jitsu gym and a pizza shop right on the jiu-jitsu gym. But I don't want like a jiu-jitsu gym open to like everyone, just like my friends, like invite only, and then a pizza place and a pasta place connected. So that's my goal. It's gonna be, everyone's gonna be happy there for sure, because everyone's gonna be eating good food. I don't know about the jiu-jitsu, but everyone will love the pizza. This is my normal routine. I'm either training on the mats like 8-9 hours a day, and then I'll watch jiu-jitsu on my laptop over there, and then at night, to cool down, I'll cook pizza and pasta.
Hey guys, I'm Rotolo, and I'm an orange belt, and I train at our object. I said "and" too many times. Sorry. Hey guys, I'm Rotolo. I'm an orange belt. I'm doing the FloGrappling tournament because I won the coin toss against my brother, but tails never fails. My favorite technique is arm bars, triangles, barambolos, bow and arrow, darts. I think I named too much.
They say greatness starts with a single step. And for Rotolo, that step toward grappling supremacy started long ago. A grappling prodigy in his youth, Ty is now firmly on a quest to prove he's not only among the world's best, he is the world's undisputed #1. A quest that has brought him through the ADCC semifinals and beyond. Rotolo isn't wasting any time. And the next name he's looking to cross off that list is none other than Craig Jones. The Australian turned Puerto Rico-based submission artist has slowly risen the ranks. Don't let the leopard print fool you. Now known as one of the world's most dangerous grapplers in the world, his world-class leg locks have crippled even the most toughest of gangsters. Craig has the opportunity to take out another Atos prospect and add another leg lock to his trophy wall. A true test of youth versus experience, speed versus strength, aggression versus precision, and of course, this will be another entry into the long-standing rivalry between Atos and the Danaher Death Squad. Welcome to the road to who's number one, Craig Jones versus Ty Ruotolo. Growing up on the sunny coastlines of Southern California, Ty and his brother Cade have redefined what it means to live the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. While climbing their way to the top of a grueling combat sport like submission grappling, it's important they also find time to just go with the flow.
Out here at Wind and Sea in San Diego, about to catch some waves. Just invited some of the boys, so we'll see if they can get down here too, and we're just gonna go catch some clips. Sun's out too. The water's cold, but we got our suits, so we'll be okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did you see that? Yeah. Did you see that? Surfing the same amount of time we've been training. So like, kind of like started all of our sports at the same time, like surfing, jiu-jitsu, and skating. You know, it kind of just takes your mind off, you know, whatever stress. And when you're out in the water, you're not like thinking about anything else except for when the next wave is coming. You know, you're not worried about any worries you have. So yeah, surfing is just a great escape, and you know, it helps, you know, good for the keeps our mind, body, and soul. Yeah, for sure. I couldn't imagine living any other lifestyle. Pretty much, you know, wake up, train, surf, skate, whatever. It's just kind of keeps us in a good state of mind, keeps us in shape and happy. So yeah, I love what we do. Yeah, have fun. Jiu-jitsu will always be a way of life for me. It's gonna be the way I make money. Jiu-jitsu is my life, you know, but at the same time, surfing, like, I can't find this feeling I get from surfing anywhere else, you know, so they're both amazing. I love doing them both. Today we'll probably get like maybe another training session in, eat, keep it mellow, and then tomorrow back out at 6:15 a.m. comp class. So yeah, we'll wake up for that. I think I'm gonna eat a burrito right now. I'm kind of hungry. Nice burrito.
San Diego lifestyle.
San Diego lifestyle. Cali burrito.
The Rotolo brothers start their day early, either on the mats or in the water. These 18-year-old phenoms always seem to be hunting down the next big wave. While San Diego boasts world-class surf, the jiu-jitsu training is even better.
My name is Ty Ruotolo. I'm a brown belt under Andre Galval at Atos Jiu-Jitsu headquarters in San Diego. My style is kind of changing with every different fight, kind of picking up some new things and getting more experience, but I like to try and just keep a high pace in my matches no matter what.
Man, Ty is like another special guy, you know? He really loves to train. He has a good mindset. He likes the flow. He flows a lot, you know? He trains really aggressive, but sometimes he trains like in a fun way as well. He likes to have fun while he's training, you know?
Even the current UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, recognizes their potential.
When I roll with them, it's like playing with the ocean, except it just decides to drown you whenever it wants to. They just like smiling and just rolling with me, and we're just playing. And I'm flowing with them as well, but I realize like they'll decide to just like snap on me if they wanted to. They're really good. They're really good. One of them said, I don't actually remember when I started training. I was like, whoa, so he started when he was 2, so he doesn't remember. He just grew up, they just grew up like that.
I remember like when Ken and I started, we were like naturally like just good at jiu-jitsu, you know, like we had like a lot of fight in us. We were already like ready to go. I didn't even know what I was doing, you know, I just got potty trained, so you know, like when my mom realized, like, oh wow, the boys are good, you know, like they're not losing and they're like beating everyone, you know, so like they must, you know, must be pretty good. But I loved it ever since like day one, you know, and I've had a really good support system, you know, keeping me on track, and as of recently, it's been paying off, so I'm stoked.
Over 10 years of hard work came to a head at the 2019 ADCC World Championships, where Ty was a 16-year-old blue belt, overshadowed by a sea of accomplished black belts and world champions. Expectations for the newcomer were very low.
Every ADCC, there's always a new person that's debuting, that's making history, and Ty Rotolo is going to make jiu-jitsu and submission fighting history. The youngest competitor in the history of ADCC to get on the podium.
In that first ADCC, even though I hadn't done anything professionally, you know, I had no reason to think I should win. I look at my division, I got like Tenquinho and Miao, and I'm like, you know, I'm like a 16-year-old blue belt, you know, and it's like so out of place, you know, but I've been doing jiu-jitsu my whole life. It's something that, you know, like when I have to perform, like I'm gonna be able to perform, you know, it's what I know, it's second nature.
Look at this counter, look at that beauty, mates. Oh my God, that is incredible.
Rotolo, I can't really tell. He's got a rear naked
gonna
choke
be on.
on.
It's gonna be
Montevani puts the hooks in as well.
Miao actually had his leg in better position than what it is now.
Oh,
now it's
and
really
Rotolo's
nasty.
face. Look at the grimace on Rotolo's face, just extending that leg.
You look good, bro. I'm so happy for you. You're a monster. You have such a bright future.
Last couple trials I did, like I trained hard, but I didn't know what it took to be up there with the best, you know, and the last couple months I've been training so hard, and I belong with the best, so that's where the confidence is coming from, I guess, my training.
I train this guy every week, man, and it's not an easy round. It's like you don't get Ty Rotolo with the easy round. You get Ty Rotolo when you want the cardio round.
I kind of like try to pride myself on trying to tire my opponents out a lot. That's like my thing, and to get them tired, because when your opponent's tired, the match becomes a lot easier, you know? So that's my thing. I try to keep a high pace and look for submissions.
After tasting victory on the elite level, Ty has his sights set even higher.
I'm gonna be fighting Craig Jones. I know that he's a really, really good leg locker. You know, he's well-rounded. You know, he's got everything. He's got some takedowns. He's got good back attacks, and he's a really good fighter. And I got a lot of respect for him. But I don't take matches I don't think I can win. You know, so that's why I took the match. That's why I asked for the match. I really want an opportunity to beat him.
Back in the tropical paradise of Dorado, Puerto Rico, Craig Jones is living his own version of the jiu-jitsu lifestyle.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the spot. Come on in. Just finished training for the day. I'll probably just make a shake right now. Something pretty basic, and then we're gonna go pick up Taza, Big Dan, and we'll head to the beach. We'll probably leave Big Dan down there, let him find his own way back. Maybe Taza too after the angry rounds today. The biggest thing I miss about New York is probably just Uber Eats. I'm gonna try to make a shake. I'm just gonna wing it today. I don't even know where all the parts to the blender are. As you can see, I don't know my way around the kitchen at all. We're gonna have to go through every drawer. Oh, we got it, we're good, we're good. And that's it. Let's hope it tastes good. Pretty decent, pretty decent.
So there's a beach that way, no?
We'll head off to the right here, watch out for...
Watch out for the iguanas. They'll whip you with their tails.
Despite his laid-back persona, the name Craig Jones has become synonymous with the word excitement in competitive grappling. Never in a boring match, Craig Jones is on the verge of becoming a grappling superstar. And since moving to Puerto Rico, Craig has become hyper-focused on one thing: submission. And as a result, he's become a modern master of finishing fights.
My name is Craig Jones, Australian, black belt. Live in the US now. Been living here on and off for probably 3 to 4 years illegally, and now living in Puerto Rico. Leg locks would be my greatest strength. Started doing leg locks leading into ADCC just out of fear that Pal Harris would be returning to the tournament. So it was mainly for self-preservation, and then I saw that it would be a tool to beat people that are better at jiu-jitsu than me. My leg lock evolution, I mean, I feel like it's getting better. I mean, I train in a room with guys that are excellent at defending leg locks, guys that really started this modern day trend. So like in the training room, probably heel hook no one. But then obviously I'm not competing against the DDS, so when I come out here, I feel a lot of progression. But I think the leg lock game's still evolving. People are still perfecting it as people work out better and better counters and escapes.
Craig is one of the hardest working, most cerebral and fastest progressing athletes I've ever worked with. Unfortunately, like many of my athletes, Craig kind of gets dismissed as a leg lock guy. People have no idea. He's an absolutely outstanding guard passer. His back control is right up there with the very best in the world. There's so much more to Craig Jones than what most people understand. It's just that he's so good at leg locks that many of his matches finish quickly in that fashion.
I would honestly rather get submitted than put on a boring match. I'm going to take some risks. Obviously not the same level of risk as a guy like Gary Tonin, but I'm going to take calculated risk because I really care that when you look at my record, there are lots and lots of finishes.
Yep, got it. Wow. It's going to roll for it. Oh, and he gets the top.
The Roberto match was pretty fundamental, sort of invert to the legs. I mean, we went toe-to-toe really, like where Roberto, which I respect about him, isn't running out of there. He's trying to counter my attacks.
Craig is pretty much one of the best guys in the world in this position, and he's going on the inside heel hook.
He has it. He has it.
There it is. Verbal submission. Craig Jones gets the finish.
With Ronaldo was giving me more typical responses, which, I mean, is to say that he's in front of me. He's looking for his opportunity to pass, but there's any sign of danger, he's out of there. So what I had to do with Ronaldo, which would be more sort of cutting edge technique, is just I had to control his feet, get a sort of an inside knee pull there, and then I had both options. I had an entry to cross arch you or an entry to 50-50, and it keeps me safe.
Got the heel. He's got the heel here. He's got the heel, and there's the tap. Craig Jones gets the finish here at who's number one.
I'll be honest, I don't think we saw the best Ronaldo in that match. I could only assume that maybe he was planning something later in the match. So I felt relieved to get the win, and really I just hit that one. I was focused on the next event.
Luckily for Craig, the next up-and-coming Atto star was already calling him out.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ty Ruotolo will be taking on Craig Jones at our next Who's Number One. A little unexpected, I think. Not too many people were expecting Ty to come out, and Craig, I don't know about you, man, but it feels like you may have a target on your back in this one.
Yeah, for sure. So I heard Ty was calling for this match for a while, but I really wanted to wait till he was 18 because I couldn't live with myself. I lost to a kid.
For me, I enjoy a fun challenge. And when I think of a good challenge, I like to think of opponents that are going to be aggressive. You know, like, the more I do this, the less I can be bothered dealing with stalling opponents. And that's when I heard that Ty Rotolo had been calling me out a bunch. So yeah, I mean, I just figured, yeah, fun match.
Stylistically, I think it's a good fight for me. And he's got good leg entanglements, it's no secret. You know, he's got good leg attacks, and that's kind of my thing now, is shutting it down, and I'm excited to fight him. I think I can beat him. That's why I wanted to fight him.
In no way am I going to compete against Ty, and he's going to play it safe. Say like it goes terribly for him and I put him in a heel hook. As long as he taps, there's nothing lost. So him challenging the better guys at the start, good or bad, it's just going to be learning experience for him to help develop his career. So in my opinion, the rewards sort of outweigh the risks, and that's even if he does lose, because he gets experience competing at the highest level, and that'll be experience he'll take with him again, only 18 years old.
The thought of a difficult challenge has never deterred Ty Rotolo. In fact, the doubters have only motivated the young phenom to reach new heights. When they said his match with Nicky Ryan was too much too soon, he silenced the critics with his relentless submission attacks.
Look at the way the legwork he passes over now. He's got Ryan on the run at this point. He hasn't slowed down a bit throughout this entire match.
Your winner, out of the blue corner, Ty Ruotolo.
But nothing worth winning ever comes easy. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them.
just over a year ago, he competed at 66 kilos. That's about 146 pounds. The handle, the crown of the head, and really put it down. It is a takedown from Ruotolo.
Going through the match with Cody, I didn't get to train a lot, you know, so I was really kind of curious to see how that one would go. That's why I just knew I was going to stay calm, stay prepared, and try and get him tired.
That was impressive.
That was a significant takedown.
Yeah, I like how Ty is trying to keep the weight forward. You know, he's off his knees.
His passing is very effective, and his passes lead to his dashes. So you defending his passing is what allows him to capture the dash. You sort of overcommit with frames, and with those long arms, he's able to cinch it up. I think his second greatest strength is probably just his heart.
Once again, he's just always working. He never settles into position. Well, it's been pretty clear Ty Ruotolo has just been relentless with his attacks. Oh, and we see this Ruotolo answering back with a heel hook of his own. Going for the inside heel hook here. About 2.5 minutes remaining, and there is the finish!
Yeah.
Ty Ruotolo with the heel hook finish.
No matter how tired he is, he's gonna keep coming. I think he breaks a lot of guys with that pressure. Again, crazy heart, just keeps going and going and going. I think the key to the Rotolo brothers' victory is their ability to move. And I think I should have the strength and size advantage to stifle his movement and control him. If I cannot do that, it's gonna be a very, very tough match.
Grappling fans, we've got some big news for you today, and unfortunately, it's not great news. Craig Jones is out of Who's Number One this weekend. We are heartbroken, and he is upset about it because he wanted this match more than anybody.
Just days before Craig Jones and Ty Rotolo were set for action, unexpected medical circumstances sidelined the talented Australian and forced him out of his April 30th showdown. However, the last-minute change in opponent didn't seem to faze Ty Rotolo. Now taking on rising star William Tackett, the goal remained the same: dominate. And much to everyone's surprise, Ty Rotolo did just that.
Foot sweep there, look at that. Oh my word, out the back door, and has got the seatbelt. Ruotolo, one hook in and then turns it into top position right here. Look at that, beautifully timed diving guard pass over the top and into the mount here. Ruotolo settles down into top position. This is big.
And now he's mashing the face, making things really nasty for William.
And Ty just seems to have settled into a very comfortable pace where he is just in full control now. Oh, he's gone an arm around the neck. He's gone high on the upper body. This is the true evolution of jiu-jitsu right here. You've seen two of the brightest up-and-coming stars in no-gi grappling.
And your winner, Ty
Ty Ruotolo. Man, that was an action-packed 15 minutes. It has become something of your trademark. You love to pour the pressure on your opponents, and that's exactly what you did here against William Tackett.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I plan on doing the same thing to Craig next time.
I have a feeling Craig Jones is going to be watching that match very carefully. Is that what we can expect should you now go up against Craig Jones next?
100%. That's why I asked for the match. You know, that's what I believe I can do the same thing I did tonight to him. So hope he heals quick and we can get it sometime soon.
Undeterred by the circumstances, Ty Rotolo is once again calling out the game's most feared submission hunter. And this time, on June 18th, it's happening.
This is dangerous. He's straight in on that inside heel hook. He gets the finish. It is over.
Once again, the lights will come down on the Who's Number One stage. It features the world's best grapplers, all vying for a chance to be considered the undisputed number one.
I don't see myself losing to Craig. I see myself getting past his guard and putting a pressure on him. And I think for sure I have the skill set to avoid the heel hook. I've never been as much prepared as I am right now, you know. A win over him will be good. I don't know what's gonna come after that. You know, we'll see if I get to fight after, but you know, stylistically that's a good fight for me and I'm excited to take it.
You've got two guys who are on a trajectory to become two of the best in the world, arguably of all time. They've both got their potential, but they're completely different in the way they go. And that's a compelling match.
But as the man says, victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay the price.
A win over Ty is sort of like, I'm saving that win for a later date. It's sort of me just beating these young guys at the beginning of their career, so I don't have to do it again later on in their career. The fans should tune into this match just because it's two guys that are going to try and kill each other. We bring everything to jiu-jitsu that the fans want to see. And everything we're going to do is going to be focused on the finish. Hey, Ty, I hope you bring an exciting game, and I hope it's not so exciting it beats me.
Get all your questions answered and see the world's best grapplers earn victory. Watch it all unfold right here on FloGrappling.com.
Welcome to another edition of Who's Number One. This time our main event, Craig Jones versus Tai Ruotolo. Another evening of non-stop, no-gi submission grappling action. 9 matches in total. Very excited to be bringing another event to you here on FloGrappling. Myself, Howell Teague, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Chase Smith. And man, we are super excited for this match tonight. This event is just loaded, Chase.
Oh man, Who's Number One has become such a staple for us, Hal. And like you said, the main event between Tai Ruotolo and Craig Jones couldn't be more exciting. Almost a clash of generations at this point, but we have 9 stacked matches tonight.
Indeed, 9 matches. Let's take a little look at the card because from top to bottom, this is just non-stop excitement. We've got a little bit of everything. We've got matches from the men's and the women's divisions in pretty much every weight class and some really significant battles, of course, in the rankings. Our main event, Tai Ruotolo versus Craig Jones, coming up later tonight with the co-main event, a bantamweight battle between the #1 ranked Mikey Musumeci and, of course, his opponent, Junior Ocasio, and then much more to look forward to. But I think, really, we got to get into it, Chase. We got to break this down. Let's talk about the main event. Of course, it's the match that everybody's come here to watch. And we'll kick it off with Tai Ruotolo. Now, this young man, only 18 years of age, the Atos representative, has had a breakout year. I mean, well, let's call it 1 year. He's had a breakout career ever since he was a little kid.
100%. In his last match with William Tucker here, Who's Number One, he really shocked the world, I think, with the dominant performance, solid wrestling, as well as this really aggressive submission tactics. Really put on a show there, but like you said, the last 2 years, it's been really a revolution for Tai Ruotolo.
Of course, lots of questions about whether his game stacks up against Craig Jones's leg locks, but look at this. The leg lock defense of Tai Ruotolo, absolutely on point. He has mastered that classic Atos Berimbolo counter. They call it the pretzel bolo, and you know, he's got that back take down, so look out for that in his match with Jones later on. But let's not forget as well, I mean, consider his match with Cody Steele. In that match, we actually saw not just leg lock defense, but we saw some leg lock offense as well, that he was able to go after the legs.
Yeah, Tai's extremely well-rounded, and what he really loves to do is put a pace on his opponents, wear them down, and grind out the win.
You can see that last match there. I mean, this is classic Tai Ruotolo, but searching for his own submission finish, absolutely phenomenal. But how does that match up with somebody like Craig Jones? Now, of course, Craig, well, he is one of the very best submission specialists on the planet. This Danaher Death Squad representative, the black belt from Australia. He's had 3 matches here on Who's Number One, and can you believe it? But 3 matches, 3 submissions, and 3 of the top 10 fastest submissions in WNO history.
Yeah, they don't call him Australia's deadliest mammal for nothing. Like you said, incredible submission rate, and really, you know, Craig Jones wants to get the legs. But that's not all that he can do. He'll often use a leg lock attack to open up an upper body submission as well, and he's also been working on his top game in wrestling, so maybe we'll see a little bit of a divergence from his normal tactics tonight.
He hasn't needed it so far, though, as you can see in the 3 matches that he's had here on Who's Number One, it's been pretty much exactly the same thing. It's been that Z-guard, half guard, get in the far leg and get into this inside heel hook position. He's got absolutely clinical finishing ability from here. So far, nobody has been able to stop it. Can Ruotolo put the pace on Jones here tonight? Well, we'll wait and see, but that is a match I know that everybody is really looking forward to, especially us, right?
100%. You know, Craig Jones feels like he's got somewhere to be, but I anticipate this might be a little more of a war than Craig's used to.
The co-main event of the evening, as we mentioned, Mikey Musumeci, the #1 ranked 135-pounder in the world, but he's going to be taking on the challenger from New York, Edwin Juni Ocasio. So, Juni, let's make it clear, right? That Juni is a leg lock specialist.
Absolutely. He's been focused on no-gi competition for almost 2 or 3 years at this point, and it's really shown as he's progressed through the ranks. He has a devastating hip lock that is pretty unique to his own style, but of course he's very comfortable with heel hooks and everything else that goes with that, and it will be a real challenge for Mikey Musumeci tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, of course, Mikey's last match was a submission win via the leg lock game, but Juni is definitely a specialist in that area, and if you want to test your leg lock prowess, who better to do it with than one of the best exponents of that style in the world, aka Juni Ocasio. But what can we say about Mikey Musumeci? I mean, incredible that, believe it or not, from 2016, he completely left the no-gi scene, and he only came back to Who's Number One to compete on no-gi competitions this year. And what an amazing return it has been. 2 matches on Who's Number One, 2 submission finishes, but 2 very different matches.
Yeah, Mikey's no-gi revolution is so fun to watch. His leg lock acumen was established in his last match here at Lucas Pinheiro. Really incredible transitions. Looks like he's been doing it his whole life, but actually he's just been putting in 10 hours a day on the mat for the last 2 months, and it really shows. An incredible tactician and really someone to keep an eye on going forward.
Yeah, Musumeci, the leg lock in his last match was so precise and so fast as well. That is actually our 3rd fastest submission in WNO history. But then, of course, his first no-gi match back was an upper body submission, showing that he's got top pressure as well. Much bigger than that for a bantamweight, right?
Yes, and I'm really interested to see, hopefully, a leg lock shootout tonight with Juni and Mikey, and see how Mikey handles that pressure that Juni brings.
Could be a lot of fun. Moving on down the card, we have a women's heavyweight no-gi match that I'm particularly looking forward to, because you have the very dangerous, the very aggressive and very dynamic Rafaela Guedes of Atos. Now, believe it or not, she is still a rookie black belt, yet to complete 1 year as a black belt, and yet made a real mark on the scene, both gi and no-gi, in this last couple of months.
Yeah, she's already captured some major IBJJF titles, and you can see she really has that dominant Atos style. Great wrestling, but happy to play guard, always hunting for submission, and a very well-rounded athlete here.
Yeah, very tough as well, of course, hailing from Manaus in Brazil. It's one of the hotbeds of jiu-jitsu in that country, and so many tough fighters come from there, and just she's one more. There must be something in the water there. But Rafaela Guedes, she's had success in both points and submission-only tournaments, and she's got a very wide, very varied submission game, I think is the best way to describe it. But let's talk a little about her opponent tonight, because relatively unheralded, Erin Harp. Now, Erin Harp is a professional mixed martial arts fighter, a jiu-jitsu black belt. Now, she may not have the best name in the scene because she's taken some time off, but let's not be confused here, right? This is a dangerous woman.
No, she burst onto our radar with this match we're seeing here at Fight to Win recently. Really, really aggressive fighter, great wrestling, but also happy to dive on a leg. Really dynamic game. She's been focused on MMA for the last couple of years, but she's a lifelong jiu-jitsu practitioner. Her father's a black belt, and I think she's going to try and bring the heat tonight.
I expect nothing less, especially when those two collide. But that's not all we have. Of course, moving on down the main card, we're looking forward to matches such as Tai Ruotolo's twin brother, Cade Ruotolo, will be in action in a lightweight bout up against Cole Franson. We also have the returning Daisy Fresh representative, Andrew Wiltsey. He'll be taking on Gabriel Almeida of Checkmat. And then our opening match of tonight's main card, one of the most anticipated matches. Absolutely everybody's looking forward to this one. And that is the return of the surging 17-year-old Mikael Galvao. Now, Mika, as he is better known, Galvao, is one of the most promising talents on the no-gi scene. Believe it or not, this kid, 17 years of age, only a brown belt, and yet
man, what an explosive debut he had here in the United States.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better, Hal. This is footage here from No-Gi Pans, which is the very first No-Gi competition in the IBJJF, but also in the US. And man, explosive performance, really well-rounded, you can see, dynamic fighter, great transitions, can do everything you want to see in a high-level athlete. And of course, he followed that up with a big performance at Who's Number One in his match with Andrew Tackett. So he's happy to play from anywhere and always going for the subs. And I think he's looking to capture that first submission win tonight at Who's Number One.
Yeah, it was a furious 15 minutes of non-stop action in his last Who's Number One match just less than 1 month ago, right here on this very mat. And it was a phenomenal performance that really put him on the map here and showed that he is absolutely as promising as everybody has been saying he is, a non-stop submission hunter. But he's got a very difficult challenge facing him tonight in Oliver Taza, again, another member of the Danaher Death Squad. So, the French-Canadian, Oliver Taza, now fighting out of Puerto Rico, not just a leg locker.
It really typifies the modern no-gi game. Very versed in the leg locks, but also has been transitioning to more wrestling and upper body attacks. Fluid style and very aggressive. It's going to be a massive challenge for him tonight.
Yeah, we've seen him in action on the Who's Number One mat twice now. Oliver Taza has picked up 2 wins via decision and absolutely via the use of these leg lock attacks. He is, as you would expect, being a student of John Danaher, a really good leg locker, but his entries into these positions come from everywhere. Lots of different angles. He gets them from top, he gets them from bottom, he gets them from leg entanglements, from range. The finish has escaped him in these last 2 matches, but he'll definitely need to bring, 100% focus for this match with Galvao, right?
Absolutely.
So, of course, we also have the prelims to look forward to, our free prelims on YouTube and Facebook. And we have 3 matches. And this is an opportunity for the up-and-comers to show their thing, right?
100%. The whole goal of the free prelims is to establish yourself as an exciting athlete, that you know how to put on a show, and that you deserve a spot on the main card here at Who's Number One.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity. We have 3 matches. We have kicking things off, Jesse Crane versus Danielle Cali in a women's strawweight match. We have Cody Steele, the Austin local, taking on the UFC veteran Philip Rowe. And then we have Haisam Rida versus Miha Pehavits in the final prelim match in a heavyweight bout. Always going to be exciting. Very much looking forward to that. But I think now is the time to introduce a special guest, none other than Andre Galvao, the Atos co-founder, ADCC Superfight champion. Andre, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming and joining us tonight.
Pleasure's mine.
Andre, I think the first things first, we've got to get your take on this main event. Your student, Ty Ruotolo, taking on Craig Jones.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big challenge.
It is amazing to see how Ty grows, man, he's definitely developing amazing technique and jiu-jitsu. He's improving every single week, I would say, right? So each time that they perform here on the mat on Who's Number One, or whenever they go compete, you can see tremendous change in their game, So he's definitely improving, and of course, Craig Jones is Craig Jones, He's a submission hunter. He's going to be really excited, and I can't wait to see this match.
Of course, Ty's not the only member of Atos on the card tonight. You have Cade and Rafaela. What can you tell fans at home that may not know their games very well about their jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, it's definitely Rafaela is improving a lot too. She's getting better and better and better. So she's very aggressive, but I know she's gonna have a really tough opponent tonight. She's very explosive. Harpy's really explosive, and she loves to bring the aggressiveness during the fight. And we study her. We study her a lot, and it's definitely about controlling the fight and managing the situation, little by little. I believe the beginning, Harp is gonna come really aggressive, and we gotta watch out in the first 5 minutes, of the match until the match start getting cool down, and then Rafael is starting to pose her game.
And then Cade versus Cole?
Man, Cade versus Cole, this kid likes to play guard, right? And I was watching his matches and studying, and I told Cade, you got to be aggressive, the whole time. Don't stop and go for the submission, right? We know he likes guillotines, he have a really good guard, but he likes to stand up as well, he likes to play standing and grapple a little bit, like wrestling. But Cade has a tremendous wrestling Greco, so we're gonna looking for underhooks and try to manage the takedowns and be ready to fight on top. And then if you got on bottom, we're ready to.
I expect nothing less than a well-thought-out strategy for these matches. But Andre, of course, big news recently is that you confirmed that you are going to return in 2022 to defend your ADCC Super Fight title. That's big news. Now, we kind of thought maybe last year, or excuse me, 2019, that you might not come back, that you were on the verge of retirement. Tell us, what brought you back?
Yeah, so I never say no, right? So I remember right after the ADCC, Mo Yassin he said, "Oh, you gotta face off, Gordon. Let's see if you promote this fight." And then people wants to watch the fight. So unfortunately, Gordon, right now, he's not able to compete right now. So we don't know what's gonna happen. But I decided to compete because, man, I really love to compete, And I was promoting the fight. I was bringing up some hype, And I decided that. And not right now, I'll be ready. So in 2022, I'll be there, in the arena, and I'll bring the show for the fans and to all my team, my family.
And important to note as well that you did accept the match. You did confirm your participation before Gordon announced his sickness. So, of course, it could be him, it could be somebody else, but whatever happens, you will be there.
I'll be there.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Very excited for that. Thank you very much, Andre.
My pleasure.
Good luck tonight, and good luck to your students.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk a little about the rules and the ways to win here at Who's Number One. We want to keep things simple here at Who's Number One. It's all about the submission. Every match is 15 minutes with no rounds or no periods. There are no points. It is just one 15-minute match. It's submission only. And in the event of no submission, well, we will go to a judge's decision. We have 3 mat-side judges. In the case that they have to decide a winner, they will be looking at all aspects of jiu-jitsu and grappling skill, including takedowns, throws, counter-wrestling, positional battles, and, of course, submission attacks.
There you have it. But let's kick it over to our friend Reed for a bit more information here on the rules.
Welcome to Who's Number One, the premier proving ground for the world's best grapplers. And now right here on this very stage, 2 grapplers will enter and only one will leave victorious.
All matches are 15 minutes in length, except where otherwise noted, with no points, no advantages, and no interruptions. Just elite competitive grappling. There are 2 ways to win. The first is, of course, the most preferred, by submission. And here at Who's Number One, all submissions are legal. Heel hooks, arm bars, twisters, and beyond, the world's best have all the tools at their disposal. And if at any point either competitor taps, the match is over. But if there isn't a submission, we will rely on 3 neutral side judges to determine a winner. Their decision will be based on our Who's Number One judging criteria, which is unique to this mat. Now, above all, we are looking for aggression. That means never taking a backward step and moving forward at all costs. We're looking for dangerous submission attacks. That means attempts that will result in a near submission, okay? Leave your 50-50 ankle locks at home. We don't need them. And if it doesn't result in a reaction or a hyperextension, they simply won't count. And finally, positional control. That means guard passes, mount, back takes, anything that leads to positional dominance. The match will be judged in its entirety, and the person with the better display of effective grappling skill will get their hand raised. The referee is also neutral and does not take part in the judge's decisions. His role is purely to control the action on the mats and reset the action should it go out of bounds. This is elite grappling competition at its purest form. A showcase for the world's best grapplers on the world's biggest stage. Just the best fighting the best. It's the only way to truly find out who's number one.
Thanks for the update, Reed. Now, just a little mention as well, of course, our judges' favor. Just to explain what this is, at the 5-minute and at the 10-minute mark of the match, you will see the lights in the room change color, either red or blue, to indicate who, at that point, the judges favor. But you'll also see right here on the screen, just above the scoreboard, a little graphic to tell you who they have leading the match at that point. But this is very important to reiterate, is that these are not rounds or points, because you can be leading judges' favor the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes, and yet your opponent can still win that match in the last 5 minutes. So just a handy visual guide for you watching at home or here inside the arena. But I think just a little mention of some of the upcoming events that we have here on FloGrappling. We've got an absolutely stacked calendar of events right through to the end of the year, featuring the very best world-class gi and no-gi action, including IBJJF, ADCC style competitions, and of course in September, our huge 2-day event, the FloGrappling Who's Number One Championship, right here in Austin, Texas. Don't miss that. And for details on the full calendar, go to FloGrappling.com and hit schedule, and you'll see pretty much an event every single weekend, right?
We're busy out here.
We're busy. Coming up next, our first match of the evening, we have Jessica Crane versus Danielle Kelly. We'll be right back after this. This event is presented by Fat Tire, America's first certified carbon-neutral beer.
I'm on my way home. I'm on my way back to stay. I can't do without you another night. Oh, baby, I'm on my way home.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on FloGrappling from Austin, Texas for Who's Number One, Craig Jones versus Ty Ruotolo. Tonight, you will witness 9 matches featuring 18 of the best grapplers on the planet. Are you ready?
ready and she know it already.
My name is Jessica Crane. I'm a brown belt under Marcus Adelante, and I train under Aries BJJ. I would say my greatest strength is that I'm patient. I like to wrestle, I like to pressure pass, I like to be on top, and I just like to push the pace until I get a submission.
My name is Danielle Kelly. I am a black belt under Cyril Fox, trained in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. My greatest strength at this moment, I would say, would be my leg lock game. Let them come to me, so I just work like what I'm good at.
I'm going to be competing against Danielle Kelly. She is a black belt. She's ranked number 6. So her last match, and I know that she's going to be bringing the pace just like I am.
I'm happy that Flo contacted me to come back to compete because I feel like the first time I didn't really get to showcase my technique. So I hope this time around I can show that.
I'm super excited to showcase my jiu-jitsu against a high-level black belt. She likes to wrestle and play on top just like me, so I think it'll be a battle of whose jiu-jitsu comes out on top.
I've been doing a lot of research on her. We fought a lot of the same opponents, we beat them. You know, I feel like I kind of have her figured out.
I'm super excited. I know she's going to come out strong, but I feel like I'm going to come out stronger this time.
I feel like just now we're like the girls in my division are just getting the attention. Probably like showcase a little more technique while like the big people kind of like showcase the muscle or wrestling.
The fans are going to expect my best jiu-jitsu. I train hard every day. My teammates push me. I'm going to go out there and be chasing the submission the whole time and making sure that the event is exciting, technical, and that you don't want to look away at all.
You know, I don't know. I just feel like I'm being overlooked, so just want to put it out there and just be quiet till me and her touch hands and go at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the competitors for match number 1. In the blue corner, training out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and representing Silver Fox Jiu-Jitsu, Danielle Kelly.
She is the number 6 ranked strawweight in the world, and yet she is entering this match as the underdog, looking to get her first win here on Who's Number 1, Chase.
Absolutely. She's got a tough challenge at her hand. Danielle Kelly's game for it.
And her opponent out of the red corner, training out of Dallas, Texas, and representing Aries Jiu-Jitsu, Jessica Crane.
Only 19 years of age and already a standout no-gi talent. She returns here to Who's Number 1 after a dominant performance with a submission win in her debut. But a big challenge ahead of her tonight, Chase.
Easily one of the fastest rising stars in our sport today.
All right, we're underway. We have our tail of the tape right here. As you can see, a 6-year age difference with Danielle Kelly the elder, and yet physically very well matched. Our officials here tonight, we have our man in the middle, our main referee, Gabriel Martins, joined by our capable team of black belt side judges. And we're underway here in our first match of the evening. Joining us in the commentary box as well, we have special guest, Hollywood Mike Sears.
Yeah, welcome to my last night as a Flow Sports employee. I can't wait. I was just laying down about to have a heart attack. I'm so excited about these matches. I'll let you guys do the work. I don't like to work hard, but yeah, this is going to be crazy.
This strawweight match, I mean, to be honest, who would have imagined that this 115-pound division would turn out to be one of the most exciting in no-gi jiu-jitsu. A real, just a growing number of very talented athletes coming through in these ranks, a very solid top 10 ranking, very competitive division, Chase.
Yeah, all the matches here have been so great, which is why we are debuting our Who's Number 1 championships with the 115-pound division, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we really focused on this division this year, just because there's so many exciting young women in this division, athletes that really get after it. So we really focused on blowing it up, and then September is going to be the culmination of that. I can't wait.
I like how the match at hand here, they get right into it.
Yeah, just a reminder, on bottom is Danielle Kelly, and on top is Jessica Crane. Jessica Crane in the short-sleeved rash guard, brown-colored rash guard, to signify the fact that she is actually a brown belt, Chase, believe it or not. No, but this is an ongoing conversation. Do belts really matter in no-gi jiu-jitsu? I know Mike has some opinions on this.
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, we got a brown belt in the main event of this thing, so yeah, forget about it.
Let's also note that Jessie Crane's brown belt was earned just in December of 2020, so it's barely been 6 months for that. So very impressive.
Seated guard on bottom so far for Danielle Kelly. It's interesting to note that she pulled guard immediately.
Yeah.
But she has talked a lot about the fact that she enjoys wrestling, and we actually saw that in her last match here on Who's Number One against Jessica Khan, a full 15-minute match. She lost the decision, but she showed everybody, number one, she's got serious heart, but number two, she actually had some wrestling skills that I think people didn't really expect.
Yeah, she's been playing, little seated guard. That was a nice, quick little arm drag she tried a minute ago, but yeah, I thought they were going to wrestle a little bit. Oh.
Going in for the leg, you can see Danielle Kelly did say in her pre-match interviews that she feels that she has a good leg lock game. Well, we'll see, because so far, in the match with that Jessie Crane had here last time out, we didn't really see anything of the legs. Her top game and her pressure was enough to shut that down, but this is a pretty good entry so far from Kelly. I think Crane just trying to keep her base heavy here.
Yeah, this is a dicey situation here, because Kelly is underneath the hips of Crane, and if she gets an elevation here, it could be a problem for Crane on top.
Just feeling out this position, and Crane is doing a good job of settling down and keeping her base just heavy in this position, because really the last thing you want is to Danielle Kelly to get deep in underneath and really catch that leg. But this is what she's doing. She's managing to get some extension here. Possible knee bar here.
That looks tight.
She gets the submission. Exactly 3 minutes into the match, Danielle Kelly, very patient submission finish, a knee bar, straight knee bar, and she will get a submission of the night bonus here as well, courtesy of our sponsors, Fat Tire. But man, what a return to the stage.
What a statement. I mean, she wasn't happy with the last time she was on Who's Number One. She comes out.
Corner, representing Silver Fox Jiu-Jitsu, Danielle Kelly.
Exactly 3 minutes on the clock when she scored that submission. And I got to say, the strategy was clear. She hinted at it earlier in the the media day, the interviews that we always do. She discussed about how she felt she had confidence in her leg lock game, and the strategy was clear. That's exactly what she went for. Let's take a look at some of the moments from this match here. You mentioned it, Mike. A little bit of wrestling earlier there, the arm drag, but it's when she got on the legs, that's when it was all over.
Focused this time around than she was last time. She came out, she knew what she was going to go after, right? The leg lock, right? Finish. I mean, couldn't ask for anything better to kick off the night.
Danielle came in saying she was looking for redemption, and what better way to earn it than capturing a submission like that to kick off the night?
Yeah, we love to see it, a submission that quick in the opening match of our free prelims. But let's hear from our winner, Danielle Kelly, a very happy Danielle Kelly. Man, you said that you were looking for some redemption after your last match on Who's Number One. And do you feel that you got it here tonight?
I did. I was the underdog, and I told you guys I would finish her in under 5 minutes, and that's what I did. You guys didn't believe me, so I had to show it.
That is absolutely what we want to see. We want to see people let the jiu-jitsu do the talking. Now, you said in the interviews leading up to this match that you had confidence in your leg lock game, and I mean, it showed, right?
Yes. I actually, ever since I did EBI, I did a finishers tournament, EBI related rules, and I was just a top player, wrestler, and I used like a whole year or two to work on my guard game, and I love it. I love pulling guard. I love leg locks, everything about it.
Wow, it's awesome to see. I mean, that was a great performance. Really, it was a clinical finish. Once you got in deep on that leg, I mean, the knee bar came fast. Did you expect to get the submission that earlier, or do you think that it was going to be a little hard fought?
I've been studying her. And I knew the right movements, what I had to do, how to be patient. That was the key, just be really patient. And once I knew I had her hips elevated a little bit, that's when I went in for the kill. And I used her toes to give me a good angle.
Wow, well, I definitely think that will change your position in the rankings moving from this one.
Yeah.
But a very happy Danielle Kelly. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Well, a great way to start things off here at Who's Number One. But coming up next, we have a men's middleweight match. This man right here, Philly Fresh, Philip Rowe, the UFC veteran, will be taking on Austin local Cody Steele. That coming up next. This event is sponsored by BJJ Fanatics, the most trusted online BJJ store in the world, featuring instructional videos from some of the top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athletes like Gordon Ryan, Bernardo Faria, John Danaher, and more. Visit bjjfanatics.com for more info and use coupon code FLOWBJJ40 for 40% off for a limited time.
BJJ Fanatics is your #1 resource on the planet for video instructionals. We have the best teachers and the best fighters in the world, and the level of detail they go into showing their techniques is second to none. No matter what aspect of your game you're looking to improve, guard, passing, submissions, gi, no gi, win more of your fights in practice and in competition with techniques from the top BJJ fighters and instructors in the world today.
My name is Cody Steele. I'm training at a Brazilian Fight Factory in Austin, Texas, and I'm a black belt under Rodrigo Cabral. I would describe my jiu-jitsu style as someone who comes forward the whole time, constantly always looking for that highlight reel, and I have a good consistency of making people go, oh, goddamn.
Like beautiful foot sweep in the transition.
And it feels great to be back on this stage. There's always a lot of eyes watching this show, and I have a great opponent, and it's gonna be a good fight.
My name is Phil Rowe. I'm a brown belt out of Fusion Excel in Orlando, Florida. I like to push the pace. I like to start the match on bottom. Oddly enough, I like to sweep, get on top, and do my best to glue guys to the mat. I've been training with a lot of good guys for a long time, and I'm used to being in bad spots from the beginning of my career. So spots that usually spook people, I'm very comfortable there.
I'm gonna be competing against Philip Rowe. He's a UFC fighter. He's really tough, and I know he's gonna be able to bring the fight.
Cody Steele, I don't know anything about him. He competes against great guys. Kid looks like he's in shape. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I'm just gonna go bring the pace, be physical, be in his face. No matter what, it's not gonna be what he thinks. So I know these guys see me coming in here and they're like, oh, this guy's not really a high-level grappler, this guy's this guy's that. But when they get in there with me, they'll see.
Philip, let's go and meet in the middle and let's get after it, baby.
Good luck, man. Bring it, you know, because I damn sure am. Let's put on a show.
Let's meet the competitors in match number 2. In the blue corner, training out of Austin, Texas, and representing Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu, Cody Steele.
Big support for the local Austin native, Cody Steele, representing Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu, not his first rodeo.
No, this will be his 4th time at Who's Number 1, an exciting athlete who knows how to push the pace, loves to wrestle, loves to make things a little bit gritty, and I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight, Hal.
Yeah, I think this is a great matchup for him, right? He's got it going against MMA guys. It's going to be a lot of perfect match for Cody, I think.
Opponent out of the red corner, training out of Orlando, Florida, and representing Fusion XL, Philip Rowe.
A UFC veteran, a longtime jiu-jitsu practitioner, Who's Number 1 debut athlete, but you would never know it. The showmanship looks like he's been here 100 times before.
Yeah, Philip Rowe's just written a masterclass on how to promote yourself. What we want to see at his show like this, he's cut the sickest promo. I'm already a huge fan of this guy. And if his grappling skills are anything like his entertainment skills, then we're going to have a hell of a match here, boys.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. You can see there is a huge size advantage for Rowe, who is at 6'3" compared to Steele's 5'9". This is a 185-pound match, but their weights are definitely far apart. And our referee for this match is Gabe Tuttle. We'll bring him into the center of the mat.
Cody, you ready? Philip, you ready? Let's do it.
And we are underway. Both competitors shirtless. Now, we said in the rules yesterday that they were allowed to choose. They had the option of either wearing a rash guard or going shirtless. They just weren't allowed to take the rash guard off midway through the match. And Cody Steele kind of looked disappointed by that. So I think he's just decided, no rash guard for me then.
It's a signature move there, popping the top for Cody Steele, but this does add, you know, some realistic implications to the match. Things get a little slippery, a little bit faster when there's no rash guard, and it can be very hard to secure position.
Man, just looking at these two guys, I mean, obviously Philip's a lot taller than him. He obviously has a lot of reach on Cody. I mean, you think he'd be able to get in on a single fairly easily with all that reach he's got on him.
But we have heard that Rowe's favorite submission is the Darce choke. Now, of course, if Cody Steele goes head down towards those legs, look out for him to wrap up a neck and go for the attack. But one thing that I wanted to mention about this is that Rowe was telling me he's a jiu-jitsu brown belt, and he got into MMA through jiu-jitsu. It's not the opposite. He wanted to train jiu-jitsu, and then as a result decided, I'm going to fight for real. That's how he found himself fighting in the UFC. That's how he found himself competing.
Big shot,
takedown.
Cody.
Oh, off the mat and almost into the judges' table there, almost taking out our photographer, Mike Galimbus.
That was a beautiful Russian 2-on-1 that Cody was working going into that.
Yeah, we expected high-level wrestling technique from Cody Steele. It is his bread and butter. He loves to wrestle, right?
And that's where the height difference could really work in Cody's favor. Getting underneath and really driving it hard for a takedown. We may see that again here. Oh,
was a big.
Cody has been working his Muay Thai quite a bit here, as he's thinking about actually making the jump someday to MMA. So
very true. Yeah, he has. He's spoken openly about his desire. But there is another big entry in on that takedown. But look at that breakdancing kind of spin and recovery from Philip Rowe.
Yeah, Cody's got in a couple times. Both times it ended up out of bounds, unfortunately for him.
That's good though. It sends a message, right? Like, I'm coming for you, and it's pushing the pace.
Our mat is nearly 40 feet across, and yet Cody Steele has taken Philip Rowe out of bounds twice. And I think that if he wants to get this done, if he wants to get the finish, he's going to have to be a little bit more mat aware.
I would say, I wonder if Philip is maybe a little bit surprised by the intensity that Cody's brought to the match. You would think, fighting in the UFC, having a lot of MMA experience, you're used to some tough situations, but Cody has really been pushing the pace forward, and I don't know if fans would have predicted that, given everything here.
You know, interesting fact is that he's based out of Orlando, Florida, originally hailing from Brooklyn. But Philip Rowe, you know who he trains with on a daily basis? Rodolfo Vieira, Jacare Souza, two of the absolute titans of the
teasing the
jiu-jitsu world,
there.
Transition MMA fighters. So I think that he's felt the intensity before, and I think that Cody Steele is going to have to be pretty smart about how he can crack the puzzle. Because right now, the wrestling is definitely seems to. I think that Rowe is just biding his time, right?
Absolutely, and he's used to maybe shorter rounds, right, from the MMA background, and you can see that he's getting maybe more comfortable. I would like to see Rao pick up the gas a little bit, though. I feel like he's been fighting a little bit defensively for his first 5 minutes here so far.
Well, Mike, you can chime in on this, Mike, because we need to see people going forward in who's number one, right?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been that bad, but I mean, Cody's definitely winning this thing off those two takedown attempts. Been more aggressive. So yeah, Rowe's got to get some sort of offense going. But who knows? He might be. Oh, Cody's getting in on him. He's just got to finish one of these.
Did manage to get in briefly on the hips, but it was a nice standing kind of sprawl there from Rowe, just popping those hips in. I thought maybe that Cody would come up high into a body lock, but so far the wrestling has been pretty even. That Cody's explosive, right? He can get in quickly on those legs, but he's not controlling Rowe in the wrestling. He's not able to get hold of him and really put him where he wants.
Oh, okay. What do we got here?
This is different. This is different. Nice. Wow. Using the Imanari roll to come on top and now into a guillotine position here.
That was a really creative transition from Cody Steele. I like that.
Very unorthodox leg entry. And to be honest, I think that he was hoping for the leg. But coming up on top like this, that's not a bad position to be in. Can't really call this a half guard. If you look at the way that Cody Steele's leg is so far through, his knee is on the mat.
It's a quarter guard, right?
Quarter guard position.
Can't really see it from our angle, but.
There we can see on the screen right here.
Oh, that arm's in danger, but slides out.
Rowe in like a deep half guard position right now, reverse half guard. Cody Steele has a lot of options here, but don't write out Rowe. He's actually got some sweeps here as well from this position. Oh, but look at that. The Cody manages to slide his leg free, now in top position.
Rowe looking very comfortable despite being under an onslaught of pressure here from Cody Steele. Not seeing a lot of movement from Rowe, which is a little bit interesting to me. What do you guys make of that?
I would have thought, considering his MMA background.
Oh, he just tapped. Is he tapped? What did he do? He's tapping on his butt. I thought he tapped, right?
Whoa, that did look like a tap, but there's no submission up top.
Yeah, there's no submission. I thought he was tapping the pressure. It looked weird. I don't know.
Maybe it's a little showmanship.
Maybe they're talking to each other down there.
Could be. But I think
that's a risky move.
Yeah.
Oh, into the mount now. This is big, but we're going to see a nice escape there from Philip Rowe. But I don't know. I would have thought, given his MMA background, he'd be more eager to get out and get on top. And the judges, of course, no question there that they favor the blue corner so far, Cody Steele. But I would have thought that absolutely Rowe would want to be up and out.
But I'm sure he wants to get up and out, but I mean, Cody's got his face stuck to the mat, so it's like it's not that easy, right?
Great point.
Rowe did say, though, that he likes to pull guard, which is very unusual from a MMA standpoint, and he likes to go for sweeps. And there we are, back to his feet, unfazed.
I mean, he's got to do something because Cody's running away with this thing right now.
However, we are about 6 minutes into this match so far. Now we see an attack. This is the first time we see Rowe really going forward and deep in on the legs, and there was a moment there when he's definitely looking to wrap up that neck as well. I think that first 5 minutes was very much a feeling out process for Rowe.
Yeah, and that was a great first look from Rowe, right? I mean, he got a strong reaction to Cody, a lot of movement there. I think he's felt what Cody has and is now ready to fire back.
Yeah, we're seeing that more and more from guys figuring out that, hey, it's 15 minutes. I don't want to burn out my gas tank right away, bide my time and then attack. But, I mean, you don't want to start out the first 5 minutes like...
Lightning doesn't strike twice. There you see that Cody Steele rolling through and in for that leg. But this time, Rowe, he knew what was coming and he shut that down. I thought he was going to land on top, but I kind of have a feeling here. I have a feeling about this match. I have a feeling that, that Rowe was like, yeah, I'm going to let you put me in these bad positions in that first 5 minutes. I'm going to feel what you got. And if you can't put the pressure on me, then that's good because the next 10 minutes, I know what to expect and I've already tasted it. I'm going to be able to fire back. And this is what we're seeing now.
He's certainly having a good time. He's chatting out there with Cody right now.
I think that was a smart move by Cody pulling guard there. He's already up pretty big. I mean, they're really wet right now, and it's like just pull guard, do some jiu-jitsu with him. I think that's a good strategic move by Cody.
See Rowe now looking to try and pass the guard.
Cody looking
Great
to lock up the
recovery
leg here.
Well, we saw this earlier this evening in our first match of the night. We saw it end by leg lock, but definitely a lot slippier at this point and a lot more difficult to kind of control the limbs in the no-gi when it's this sweaty, this wet. This is a very unorthodox position here.
Cody having a bit of fun out there. You love to see it. We want a show, right? And so that's a bit unusual, but all good. This is an interesting transition here. Gives his leg to Rowe. Like just sat right back down.
Will we see Rowe finish this takedown and get into a dominant position, or will we see Cody use some counter wrestling? That's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing him trying to go in for the leg lock from the standing single leg. Got some esteemed guests. You can just see in the background there, Big O, Orlando Sanchez, ADCC champion, watching and having a good time by the look of it. Big supporter of FloGrappling. Crowd are definitely into this one. They want to see Phil turning up a gear, it seems. And we know what to expect from Cody. We know he's got the explosive burst. But once again, rolling in for the legs. But I don't know. I think that Rowe, he's savvy to that now. That kind of strategy is not going to work that many times in a row.
Yeah, I think we might need to start. We're crying rash guards. These guys are super slippery out there right now.
Cody Steele looking to try and play some sit-up guard, maybe try and come up, but actually he seems to be baiting his back to Rowe. I think that he feels so comfortable from here in his ability to Granby out from these kind of positions. Oh, wow. A show elbow, but this is bad news. He's going into a deep position, but manages to spin into the top and passes into the mount.
So
this match is crazy. Look at that pressure.
Cody told some people before this match that he may attempt some unorthodox strategies and baiting some positions.
Man, he was playing possum. He was giving his back. He was giving his back, and Phil Rowe took the bait. He tried to go. He almost had the body triangle, but man, Cody is slipperier than
let's
an
see
eel.
if Phil can pull off the same strategy here as he's turning away from Cody, which is a dangerous move, but worked great for Cody.
Oh, one hook in there. Cody Steele looking to, gets both hooks in now. And the body triangle. Oh, this is a very strong control position from here. Can Rowe slip
nice hand
out?
fight by Rowe there, though. Turn into him.
Oh. Cody Steele is playing the human backpack game right here. He is not letting Rowe spin out much like he did. And I think this is actually where the size advantage is a disadvantage, let's say it, because, you know, right here is easier for the smaller guy to retain position and to flow around. A little easier to squirm out of those positions. Once again, judges' flavor, the blue corner, Cody Steele leading this right now in this match, and I don't think there's any question considering his takedowns, considering his work rate, and his positional dominance.
Absolutely. And one thing that should be noted is that at Cody Steele's gym at Brazilian Fight Factory, they work a lot of these positions and drill what would be called EBI overtime quite a bit, where they just work back attacks all day long sometimes. So this is a great spot for him to be. He knows what he needs to do very well and has quite a bit of time to do it tonight.
Cody's got a lot of time to work here. Well, we got 4.5 minutes. All he needs to do is sink in that choke. He's got another $500 coming his way from Fat Tires. So, I mean, this is a rough spot for Phil. I mean, yeah, a lot of time to work for Cody here.
And this may be one of the rare times where the slip actually helps the fighter on the back here. May be able to slide in that choke a little bit easier with the sweat in the mix. But Phil's getting his back to the mat here. Let's see if he can get out of this position. That body triangle looks pretty tight, though.
So he's
turning in. But that wrist control is actually kind of hurting Phil at that point. He's grabbed Cody's left arm, and it wasn't really doing a lot in his favor.
He needs to turn. He needs to get his shoulder to the chest. He needs to get space. He needs to get Cody off his back. He's buried. He's burrowed in like a tick there. He's not going to come off that back control. Switches the rear body lock to the other side. But I think this is actually an opportunity now that Rowe, if he was to explode, if he was to turn quickly, then he might actually be able to get out. Chatting with his corner midway through the match. Nice escape there.
I mean, Rowe's got to get a sub now. He's doing a little pose. Oh my God, I love this guy. He's got to get a sub to win this match, basically, at this point.
Was Cody Steele shaking water out of his ear? I think he was.
Cauliflowers, man, they reroute that canal system a bit.
That much.
Nice takedown there from Rowe. Cody had success once with this strategy. Let's see if he tries to pull it off a second time here, giving up what might be an inferior position.
They are very close to the corner of the mat. I would like to see them maybe reset into the center right here. If there was to roll away, then it could be a out of bounds. But wow, now we see the arm around the neck and
just
the
too
recovery
slippery
right there.
It's a great strategy from Cody Steele
reset
tonight.
time.
Yeah, definitely time to reset into the center, I think. This half guard position right on the edge of bounds right there. But hey, let's see if they work their way back into the center of the mat. Our referee, Gabe Tuttle, walks them back in when they get back up to their feet.
It's been a hell of a match, man.
A lot of action. You can.
I like Phil's corner. Just stop fucking around non-stop. It's hilarious.
Man, that's the kind of advice sometimes you need. You just need the tough love.
2 minutes to go. Let's go.
This is our second bout here tonight. Our second bout in the free prelims. We have many more matches to come up. One more match on the free prelims, and of course our main card with our main event, Tai Ruotolo versus Craig Jones. But this, Philip Rowe on top, looking to get past the guard of Cody Steele. Cody may be looking to go for one more, a possible leg attack or a real showmanship.
Little ground and pound action here.
I mean, it's all good, but, you know, hey, he should use that energy for actually trying to pass the guard, I think. Oh, that's nice. That's good work there. Could he get a DAS from here? Got a hold of that neck, but up to his feet from a single leg is Cody Steele.
Coming up on a minute left.
Now, Mike, as a principal matchmaker here, who's number one, what do you take away from this match? What kind of attributes and favorable actions do you see out there?
Oh, I love it. I mean, yeah, there's probably not going to be a sub, but I mean, there's been nonstop out. There he goes out there.
You say that.
Yeah. Don't speak too soon. Yeah.
All the way through now, going up high with the guard. I mean, fighting through to the last.
Oh, nice pass
60
from Cody
seconds.
Steele coming here. This is all but finished. There it is.
Beautiful entry, both knees through the guard. Very slippy at this point, but man, Philip Rowe launching a big attack at that stage and not done yet. Look at this, possible little coyote guard style action.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great match. This is what we need. You can show this thing to anybody, they'd be excited. There's been nonstop action for both guys.
20 seconds still. Let's pull something out. Come up with something.
Definitely cagey at times, but when the action was going, it was flowing. And there, a last second toe hold attempt from Philip Rowe, diving on the footlock. 5 seconds remaining. Will we see one last big effort here?
I mean, this is
an entry on the single.
Clearly going to be unanimous for Cody, right?
Time goes 15 minutes, and I don't think, there's any question here. The decision will almost 100% go in favor of Cody Steele, but let's the judges do the formalities. It is blue corner.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, Philip Rowe joking there. What, are you kidding me? I think he knew. I think he really knew. But our winner, Cody Steele, in this match. A solid 15 minutes of action. A great match, non-stop, with some really unorthodox positions that tested our power of description, I would say, Chase.
Absolutely. Great blend there of entertainment and grappling. You know, Philip Rowe brought the energy we needed, but it was all Cody Steele tonight. Incredible performance there. A really beautiful passing. I also liked how he dove on the legs and really mixed up a lot of his techniques tonight. We saw a lot from Cody Steele, so well done.
We really did. I mean, look at that, the scrambles, the recovery there from Philip Rowe. I don't know if he has a breakdancing background, but he may. But this was significant. Looked like an Iminari roll, but the way that Cody Steele was able to use it to come up on top, very unorthodox, but very effective. But man, they traded positions. It was definitely Cody enjoyed the longer periods of control and definitely the better takedown efforts. But man, Philip Rowe was fighting through there right until the last second. You can see this diving Kimura.
I love that Cody Steele gave up his back as a strategy and that it really actually won him the match.
All right, I am here with our winner, Cody Steele. Man, that was a very slippery 15 minutes of action there. Some unorthodox techniques as well. Like, describe for us, man, because I couldn't describe half of those positions tonight. What was going on in that match?
I don't know. I was just trying to move all over the place. kind of be like, be like water.
Now, it did look to me that you had an idea that you were trying to bait him into some positions, that you were maybe letting him think that, you were giving him something, but you had a strategy in mind. Tell us, what was your plan going into this match, and did it work out as you expected?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to keep the pace going, keep a bunch of movements moving and all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, he's really tough, honestly. I mean, I expected that. He's a UFC fighter, he's an MMA dude, so those guys, they're just hard to choke. They're hard to do anything. They got great bases, so.
Now, of course, you've mentioned as well that you have aspirations of potentially fighting in MMA. That's something that you've described to us in the past, that you will have those plans for the future. Now, is it important taking a grappling match against a UFC veteran like that to get the feel for what the athleticism is like?
Yeah, I mean, my goal now is to go to MMA. I mean, I still want to do a lot of super fights, but yeah, I mean, I think he fights at 170. I'm going to be fighting at like 155 or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, he was tough, but I was able to maneuver around most of everything.
Well, Cody Steele, man, if you do go to MMA, I hope we don't lose you from grappling, because there's always a lot of fun having you here on Who's Number One. Another great performance. Congratulations, and hopefully we see you again.
Thank you.
Not surprised that he's breathing that hard after a match like that. Don't go anywhere, because we have our final prelim match coming up, a heavyweight bout between this man right here, Haisim Rida, the African by way of Tokyo, Japan, now based in Detroit, Michigan. He'll be taking on Miha Perhavits in our final prelim match coming up after this. We are proud to introduce Dollamur as the new official mat of Flow Sports. All FloGrappling WNO events, including tonight's, will be fought on Dollamur mats, the undisputed leader in sport surfaces.
Hi, my name is Mika Perkavets. I'm a Judo and Jiu-Jitsu black belt training under Legion American Jiu-Jitsu. I have the type of style that will help people lose a lot in tournaments because I would say it's unorthodox, submission-oriented, and it's a style where I can be getting my ass kicked for a long time and then make the opponent scream in pain pretty fast. I'm going to be competing against Haitham Rida. I know he's beaten my friend Sloan at the last Who's Number One, so I'm coming in for revenge.
My name is Haitham the Giraffe Rida, representing Assembly Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Yuki Ishikawa. My grappling style is a little well-rounded and more aggressive, looking to get the submission. I'm very, very excited to be back, and last time I felt like I didn't show the full giraffe on display, and this time I want to put more on exciting and a better performance.
I see either making him fly and getting on top and securing a path to victory that way, or winning in any quick and painful way.
They're going to expect a more aggressive and more comfortable on the Who's Number One stage, and looking to put on the show.
I promise that I'm going to go forward. I want to go for the submission, and if I get it, awesome. If not, I'm going to die trying.
It takes two to make an exciting fight, so I hope you bring the heat.
Let's meet the competitors in match number 3. In the blue corner, training out of San Diego, California, and representing Legion American Jiu-Jitsu, Miha Perhavets.
Miha Perhavets of Slovenia, now based in San Diego, one of the co-founders of Legion American Jiu-Jitsu with Keenan Cornelius, stepping up at the last minute to replace his mentor Keenan Cornelius in this match tonight.
Yeah, he's also a very accomplished judo black belt and has an extensive amateur MMA career with a 12-1 record.
I mean, he's very confident. He jumped in my DMs right after Keenan pulled out, said, I could beat this guy, give me the match. I said, all right.
And his opponent in the red corner, training out of Detroit, Michigan, and representing Assembly Jiu-Jitsu, Haitham Rida.
Returning to Who's Number One for the second time. So far, 1-0, looking to make that 2-0. His nickname is the Giraffe, believe it or not, and not hard to see why. 6'5" is Haitham Rida.
Yeah, Haitham Rida is such a fun athlete to watch out there. 75% submission rate, and he's looking to bring it tonight.
So tail of the tape, you can see that Perhavets 29, Haitham Rida is 27. Big height advantage. And they weighed in. This was originally scheduled to be a heavyweight match. We're underway with our referee, William Watts, but they weighed in, believe it or not, that Haitham was 213 pounds. Big back attack here. Straight on top. Man, wasting absolutely no time.
That's how you want to start a match, at least if you're Haitham. Aggressive. Whoa. Look at that rolling Kimura attack.
Wow. Diving Kimura almost on the armbar here. Possible straight armbar.
This match is already way more exciting than Haitham's last match on Who's Number One. He's really getting after it.
This is a dangerous spot.
Looking to go for the straight
armbar here. That arm is almost extended.
Perhavets is trying to turn out of it. This is a dangerous, dangerous position to be caught in. And there is the finish.
Wow, man.
Holy smokes.
He was not playing games tonight. He's coming over here saying something to us. He came here to prove a point tonight.
36 seconds. 36 seconds was all it took for Haitham Rida to get this straight arm lock. Man, what an incredible finish here.
Your winner from the red corner, representing Assembly Jiu-Jitsu, Haitham Rida.
Wow, I mean, given his last performance and how disappointed he was with his first match, a decision win in an underwhelming affair, let's call it, I think Haitham Rida, he had something to prove in that match here tonight, Chase. He came out taking no prisoners.
Yeah, that was guns blazing. All the credit in the world for Miha, by the way, for taking that match on very short notice. It's 3 days notice, but Haitham looked like a phenom, like he really is out there tonight.
He did. He came in here, he faced down a pretty much a 30-pound weight disadvantage, stepping up on a week's notice. It was a very tough challenge indeed. But man, Haitham Rida, let's take a look at this. Look at it, so quick, man. The diving, the back take, and then the rolling Kimura into the straight arm lock. That is our second submission of the night. You're going to get a submission bonus from Fat Tire, our sponsors. Incredible performance, man. What a match. What a great way to end the prelims. Haitham Rida, man, that was an incredible performance. Okay, so the last time you competed here at Who's Number One, you weren't happy with your performance. Given the results of tonight, are you happier now?
Well, I mean, I can always grow, I can always get better. But compared to last time, I'm a little bit satisfied with my performance today.
36 seconds. 36 seconds, that submission. I mean, you were wasting absolutely no time at all.
Hey, is that the new record?
It's not, unfortunately, but it is, believe it or not, it is our second fastest submission in Who's Number One history. That is an incredible performance, and you will get a submission bonus from our sponsors, Fat Tire.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to hear that.
Man, Haitham, okay, let's talk a little bit about it, because originally you were scheduled to face Keenan Cornelius. Now, he had to pull out due to a back injury just about a week ago, and his student Miha showed up instead. Pretty good alternative, but are you still wanting that match with Keenan?
Oh, yeah, that's still a dream match for me. And like I said earlier, you know, in the last time I wanted Keenan, because it's somebody like I feel like I learned a lot from, and sharing the match with him one day would be a dream match for me, and I still want that fight.
Well, you've now taken out 2 members of the Legion squad. Possibly a showdown with the final boss awaits. But Haitham Rida, incredible performance once again here, undefeated on Who's Number One. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wow, man, I am just blown away. Can you guys believe that? That we've had 3 matches tonight, we've had 2 submissions, and one of them was our second fastest submission in Who's Number One history. I'm feeling good about tonight.
This is exactly how I knew it was going to go down looking at this card. This is why I was laying down in the dock area about to have a heart attack before it started. I was so excited. I mean, we're talking 2 quick submissions. The other match was just nonstop action. I think the main card's going to be even crazier, too.
Dude, I'm so hyped right now. It's out of control.
I mean, we got 6 more matches to look forward to. I'm not sure how much crazier it can get, but anything can happen. Anything can happen here on Who's Number One, and so far, we've seen that. We've had one of the weirdest matches between Philip Rowe and Cody Steele I've ever seen, but great entertainment.
Do you realize what our next match is?
Oh, man, we got Mika Galvao coming up next. Can you believe that?
Let's get it, baby. Yeah, I cannot wait for this thing. Okay, I'm going to, yeah.
They just cut you off.
Too much energy drink. But, hey, you know what, man? 2 matches, finishing by submission, and 2 of those wins. Can you believe, man, that they both enter the top 10 fastest submissions in Who's Number One history? I'm feeling we're going to break some records tonight here.
Awesome, awesome stuff. And that's what you really want to see from the prelims. So, guys, if you get a chance to fight on Who's Number One prelims, you want to leave it all out there and just do your thing.
Yeah, we got to get Miha back. He's come in last minute for us a couple of times. I want to get him a match where he has a real camp and really gets to do it.
Yeah, that was rough, right? That was rough. Coming in on a week notice. He gave up like 30 pounds as well to take on Haitham. I mean, he didn't care, right? He's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to go down firing or whatever. But it's pretty rough to go out like that, 36 seconds, right?
Yeah, but he went after him with a little judo throw. But, I mean, it was risky. Haitham ended up getting under. Haitham, you could tell, wanted to make a statement after his last match was sort of uneventful. Right. And now, just like a video game, he's working his way through the Legion bosses on his way up to the final boss of Keenan Cornelius.
Haitham has so much potential, man. He really is gifted.
Oh, man, I love to see it. I got to say, the future of no-gi grappling is very bright indeed. The prospects competing here on the prelims really living up to all expectations, but that's not all, because we've got the main card coming up a little later. And this is your chance, because this is the end of our free prelims on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to watch the rest, please head on over to FloGrappling.com. Hit subscribe if you're not already registered, because the rest of the show will be exclusive, the main card, and we have 6 matches. We have got, man, who have we got? We got Mika Galvao versus Oliver Taza. We've got the King of the Daisy Fresh. We've got Andrew Wiltsey taking on Gabriel Almeida. We got the twins. We got Cade and Ty Rotolo both in action. Of course, Cade taking on Cole Franson and Ty in the main event against Craig Jones. We got Rafael Aguedes taking on the very tough Erin Harp. And Mikey Musumeci,
I was gonna
the
say, can't
bantamweight
forget
king.
Mikey Musumeci, man.
Get your
getting
goddamn
better.
credit cards out. Borrow money from somebody. Figure out something. Split it with somebody because you're going to watch this card. It's nonstop fire. The next 6 matches are going to be crazy.
There it is.
We'll see you
Do
guys
not
there.
miss this. We'll be right back. Presented by Defense Soap, now the official soap and body wipe of FloGrappling, protecting you for over 15 years. Defend what you have built.
The sport of wrestling provides so many with a bigger purpose. Wrestling